and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and we're back to a flower. We are on the daisies today. So I've had a quick look at my ABs, and I do have a couple of the orange ABs, but I actually think I'm going to do the white in ABs on the daisy. I don't know whether it's going to look right or not. Let's find out together. And I need a new tray and a new pen. So I'm going to go for the pale blue tray from August of 21. And this pen is a gift from Breanne and her boys. So this is one of the gorgeous pens that they made. And it doesn't have any wax in it at the minute, so let's bob a glue dot in. Till I've not got myself prepped by getting hold of my pen and putting my glue dot in and all that sort of stuff beforehand. So let's try that now. There we go. Okay, I've got a new glue dot in my pen. You get my disorganisedness. I've actually done yesterday's whip and chat and then this one, today's as you're seeing it together, and that's just so that I can, basically I spend Sunday packing orders. After launch, the whole day I'm packing orders, and I knew by the end of the day I wouldn't want to do, or I would do, but I wouldn't enjoy as much doing the video for Monday. And I'm working Monday, so I've decided to pre-plan this little one. I have enough whip and waffle questions, so I'm going to get on and get the daisy done. But I hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying your Monday as best as you can, of course, because it is a Monday. Some people will enjoy it more than others, especially potentially those that are retired. I'm sure a Monday is as enjoyable as any other day. But yeah, it is the 13th of June, nearly getting to the halfway point, which is quite frightening. June seems to be going as fast as pretty much the rest of the year has. I feel like by the time we come to the end of June Waffle, I'm also not quite going to believe that we're halfway through the year 2022. I'm kind of hoping that we have a couple of months that seem to go a little bit slower. Otherwise, we're going to turn around and it's going to be Christmas again before we know it. Okay, comments. So Lynn loves diamond painting. She said, "Hi Rebecca." She said she really enjoying the June Waffle. She has one question and one comment. She says, "Do you have the option of getting a 4x6 inch passport cover?" So our cover paper holders hold the cover paper sheets that we sell, which are actually half of that size. So they're 3 inches by 4 inches rather than 6 inches by 4 inches. I don't think so. I could possibly, I don't think our supplier does them. I can have a look. Would something like more of a wallet type thing work better or work as well? So a bit like the pouches that we do with the zip across the top, but of course a smaller size that would hold the 4x6 nicely. Would something like that work? for cover paper, if we could get it in the right material, of course. I could possibly, I've got visions of my supplier doing something like that. They do a few different items, but I'm not sure if it's more of a purse size than big enough to hold 4x6. But the supplier for the pouches does do smaller ones, where we get our pouches from and add our logo on. So we could potentially look at doing something that is a smaller pouch, and could be used for multiple things. So that might be something. So let me know your thoughts. Or is it that you wanted it to open up like a book but have 4x6 on both sides, or hold some 4x6 on each side? Let me know. Yeah, please let me know your thoughts on that, and we may be able to have a dig around and see. I don't know how popular one to hold 4x6 will be. It's not something we've been asked for before, so it may be something that we need to do that has a dual purpose. So we'll work for people to hold the 4x6 cover paper if they prefer bigger sheets of it, but would also could be used for something else, you know, to hold your tray and accessories or things like that. So do let me know in the comments below, and we can potentially have a look, or bob me an email in relation to it and I can see. Sharon, she says, thank you, Rebecca, for the Heaven and Earth design stickers. So we do offer a service where we will convert a Heaven and Earth design chart into stickers that you can use for your storage pots with the symbol and the DMC code on them. So she says, thank you for them. They arrived while she was away, so now she can start the mini tree house. Awesome news. Oh, that reminds me as well. That was something I'm probably going to put a list or bring it up in the Facebook group in the future. But my mum has decided to do the supersized Little Dreamers tree max colour. And she's starting to collect her diamonds and look at collecting her diamonds. So I may be calling out to any Australians out there who potentially have any spare diamonds that they might be able to send her way to help her out a little bit. She's happy to buy them if she needs to, but I know that many people have spares that they're also happy to send somewhere, you know, so that they get used. Because as much as we all work with little plastic diamonds, we are also more than happy to help things not be wasted and share the love with others by passing on any spares that we may not need. Just while I remembered that one. Susan, she says, the poppies are beautiful. She says she's so glad that I showed the finished painting. She wants to learn how to work with square drills, so she thinks she will purchase a few of these little sets. Yeah, these are a pretty good, I like these for the idea of trying out squares. For some people, squares click, you know, and working with them is just the same as working with rounds. You know, they may have to think a little bit more, but it's not a big thing. Some people, I don't know whether it's just, you know, the way everybody's brain works a little bit differently. Some people do find squares a lot tougher, not as easy to do as rounds are. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of practice. But of course, if you get yourself a big painting that's a square one, it can get frustrating because you feel like you're not getting it finished. You're not getting your painting finished, you're not getting anywhere with it, and you get bored of it in a way. It's a painting that comes out and goes away, you know, and you practice a bit more each time you do it. Whereas these mini paintings, I think, can be a great way to start squares because, you know, you can have a little bit of practice time. But if you do find it difficult to do squares, even with all the drive in the world to, you know, perfect your technique and find it easier through practice, it can be more mentally challenging or more exhausting, not as relaxing as doing round diamond paintings. So at least with the mini kits, you can have a practice by doing one of the mini ones, have something that is finished, completed, done, and then go and do a round painting. And then when you do another one, you pick up another mini one. And by the time you've worked your way through a set, you should be a lot more confident in working with squares, happy working with squares, or have fully determined that it's not right for you and just go back to rounds, whichever it may be. But yeah, I think these are a great little give it a go painting because they're just a nice small bite-size amount. But that's me. Okay. Put that one. In fact, let me get rid of that extra one. I have some of the extra diamonds in another strip, but I've realised that for the flowers, I actually don't need any of these, so I'm going to move it out of my way. Right. Do I go for the flower? Yes, I'm going to go for the flower and then do the middle afterwards. So let's start with H in the pale blue. Diamond Sparkle Chase, she said, wow, nice glow in the dark. Love your agents. Thank you. I'm not sure what agents is. I'm guessing that's a finger tap of a wrong word, but I can't think what to replace the word with. Colouring with Lou said, awesome glow in the dark drills. She did Sweet Tooth from Diamond Art Club that had glow in the dark drills on, but they didn't seem to work very well. She must have another play with them at some point. I don't know if it makes a difference with the glow in the darks, the intensity of any light that shone on them. I do have two big filming lights, one to the right and one to the left. It prevents me having shadows showing across all the diamond painting I'm working on, otherwise you'd end up with my hand and my pen as a shadow. But in turn, there is a lot of light, so I don't know if that helps to charge the drills up or whether there just are some drills that are better than others. But it was the lovely Margaret who sent me a big bag of glow-in-the-dark square drills. And Megan can't wait to use them on some of her paintings. She's got one of the canvases from Heaven and Earth Designs that's a space theme that she's wanting to use glow-in-the-dark on. And I think she might have a couple of other paintings she's wanting to do glow-in-the-dark on. She loves picking up new paintings. She just doesn't seem to have the time to do them. But I'm sure she can keep them for future times when she can get to do a painting or two, when she has potentially some free time. Liz Harrison, she said the new dog set has a Scotty dog. So Liz Harrison's full name on YouTube is Liz Harrison Scotty Dog Crafts. There is quite a few different dogs. It's a really big set, the dog set, I think, from memory. Let me have a look. I've got the site open because that's what tells me each one that these are. Yeah, the Doggies edition actually has, come on, load up. Looks like everybody's gone to look at it at the same time. It has 16 different designs. So 16 different dogs in this one. So there's quite a few different options there. But yeah, it does have a Scottish Terrier. Awesome. And Jackie has replied to her saying, we all know what you'll be ordering next. And Liz has replied, I don't know what you mean, may have just already ordered. Love it. Love it. Hope you enjoy doing your Scotty dog when your mini sets arrive. That's amazing. Love it. Crystal, she said she could swear that there was rain in the back of one of my videos. She said she only heard it when she put her headphones on though. Yeah, I do, in with my editing software, I do have like an option to reduce background noise. So I do that to try and get rid of whatever may be any background noise that emanates from living in a house with other people. But I do imagine it is more than likely that my daughter has either been tidying her bedroom and moving a load of stuff about on her wooden floor that is above my head, or she has been hoovering her floor. And I can imagine that that does sound like heavy rain, because it definitely does to me. It's only because I know what it is and I know it's not raining at the time. But I don't remember exactly what it definitely was at that time. It may have even been the TV. Hubby listening to the TV, because sometimes if the 3D printers are still working in the background, he has to put the TV on louder so that he can hear it properly, because the 3D printers are right by his head where he sits on the couch. And they may not have been turned off for the evening. It depends. Coming up to a launch, sometimes if not all the trays are printed, I get in a little bit of a panic that they're not going to get done in time. And I put the printers on for longer each day. It just gets longer and longer until they're all done and I'm happy. So it may have been that. J-Lisa says, where did you get the painting? So all the paintings that I've done in my June Waffle are from Paint Gem. They were kind enough to send me quite a few little mini sets. There is a link in the description of every video that will take you to the mini painting sets. There is also a discount code. It is an affiliate link, but there is a discount code in there too, and it'll actually, using the discount code, will reduce the cost for you. Using the affiliate link will not increase the cost in any way. It won't cost you any money to use that link. It just helps this channel to keep going and growing. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving them. I wouldn't do them throughout the whole month of June if I didn't. That is for sure. Yeah, I don't agree with doing diamond paintings, whether it be, whether it any type of painting. I don't agree with one telling you it's awesome when it's not, because you'll soon find out it's not, but it's also not nice for people to spend money on something that is actually no good. If I know it's no good, I will let you know. I also don't agree in necessarily spending the time doing something that's not very nice. I did have one painting that I wanted to do, I was itching to do, I unboxed it, I did the painting, it wasn't that nice. So I told you guys, it's not that nice. But these mini paintings, I have loved doing them all. I do find that there is a little bit more of a gap on the flower paintings between some of the diamonds. It's like you do need to leave, not all of them, but some of them you do need to leave a little gap in between for them to fit nicely. Whereas with the space and the art ones, the museum edition that I'm doing, they fit really snugly together. Both sets look amazing when they're finished. Because I'm doing different ones each day, so therefore sometimes I will go from doing a space set one day to doing the flowers the next, like I just have done. Sometimes it takes me a minute to just remember that some of the flower diamonds need to be spaced out a little bit more, but it's really not a lot. You're talking a hairline. And as you've been able to see already, they still look amazing once finished. And most of them do fit snugly together, just not quite as snug as the space ones do. Excuse me. It's hard to explain. It is hard to explain, but there is the odd time when I just need to leave a little gap to make sure that I'm going to fill the space or the row of a certain diamond. But it's not affected the quality of the finished image at all, and it's not even affected the enjoyment for me. It's not affected I don't know whether it's because it's a partial. I don't feel like they all need to click, click, click together because it's a partial diamond painting. And that may make some difference on it. On the way, you know, the layout works or the way it's printed or designed. I just love the fact that there's no big overhang of glue. Even on the partials, this isn't sticky. This bit around where I've placed the diamonds and I've reached the edge, it's not sticky, which to me is perfect because I don't want to have to seal all of these before thinking about framing them to stop them picking up dust or anything. So 20101946 iffy. Still love that username. She says up till now she's resisted buying the mini paintings. She said mainly because of all the static in the bags that you had, because I know it would drive me mad. She said, however, having seen you do them, she said she thinks she'll have to get a couple, give in and get a couple. They're lovely. She said, so if I get a couple, if she gets static and it drives her mad, she knows who to blame. That's fine. Blame me. I am going to try on my own set. But I refilled the 939 in the space set during yesterday's video, which is a video that I have just actually filmed. And the static in the bags, which I put a piece of a dryer sheet in when kitting up the kits, the diamonds in the bag were loads better. Absolutely loads better. So what I do suggest to you, and what I am going to do with my other kits on the shelf, is when they arrive and you get them, put some dryer sheets in each of the bags and let the dryer sheets sit in there for a bit. before you kit it up. I don't know how long it needs to be because I've not been able to test it out myself. I also think I want to kit up some of the other ones I've got to take away for the weekend when me and hubby go away. So I'm probably only going to be able to leave it a short period of time before I kit up. I'm going to try and leave it a few days before I kit it up. But I won't necessarily know how well that's worked until one of the whip and chats next week. Maybe the week after. No, next week. One of the whip and chats at some point next week, hopefully, if I have still decided to take a mini set with me and haven't changed my mind. I should know by then if putting dryer sheets in has helped. I'm trying to think days wise and when I'm likely to film, because I do need to film a few of these in advance for our weekend away. But I'll also want to film the kitting up of the mini sets that won't come out till July. But I'll have the information sooner than that. So if I remember, I'll keep you guys posted. And I know I said in yesterday's video I was going to put the dryer sheets in as soon as I finish the video. And I finished the video and I went and got myself a drink and got pounced on by the dog because I hadn't seen her for an hour. And I completely forgot about putting the dryer sheets in. But I will be doing it today. Because, yeah, I want to be able to kit them up with no static would be ideal. And if I find that actually popping them in a few days before I kit them up works, then that's what I'll do the minute any arrive. Is I will check for static, and if there is any static in any bags, I will just pop dryer sheets in straight away, or pieces of dryer sheets in straight away. And then whenever it comes round to me kitting it up, whether it's a few days, a few months or a few years, they should be static free by the time I get to them. Because kitting these up was a little bit epic. It was a little bit of a mission. There are a few tips and tricks that people have given us in relation to, you know, just cutting the side of the bag and tipping them onto a dryer sheet that way. So like cut through the bag lengthways so that you can get them out easier and get them onto a dryer sheet. Do it that way. So there's a few different things that people have suggested you could try, but it won't turn me away from doing the mini sets at all because they're just so much fun. I just love doing them. But yeah, blame me, that's fine. I can take it. I can be thick-skinned every now and then. The cat lady, she said another thing she has found with square diamonds is not to press down too firmly. She says because they can be hard to move if they are slightly off centre. Thank you so much for that tip. I'm quite a light putter downer of my diamonds automatically. I've never, with rounds or with squares, I've never particularly been heavy-handed or force the diamonds down onto the painting, which is probably why I've not noticed that you need to be, because I've never done it the other way. So thank you for that tip. It's a handy one to pass on in case somebody is struggling and they've actually found it's because they're pushing down on the diamonds too hard and they're setting into the glue a bit more. If you press down hard because you're maybe thinking that diamonds are going to fall off or anything, what you can do is still press down, you know, in effect quite lightly to enable them to move about a little bit. And you can always go over your whole painting when it's finished with a rolling pin to make sure that they are then pushed down into the glue once you've finished creating your masterpiece, and do it as an afterwards. Because sometimes, like just then when I put that diamond down, I actually pushed it against my next diamond to straighten the other diamond up a little bit. And I often use my straightener as well if I feel like I need to push it. So pressing down lightly and placing the diamond on the canvas a little bit gentler will help you to be able to do that. And nudge them. So thank you for that, cat lady. Lucy, she said she's spending her birthday with me and the June Waffle while she carries on with Mickey Mouse. She said it's perfect. Oh, happy birthday, Lucy. She left that comment on the 9th of June. So I hope you had an amazing birthday, and thank you so much for spending some of it with me and ensuring that you got your me time in. What more of a day to deserve your me time than your birthday? Helen has said she's catching up on videos. She doesn't have a designated painting that she's doing. Maybe more like she's trying to finish older ones that she's started. I like that option. I like the idea of having older paintings to do. Clearing your slate a little bit. Right, let's see if so many ABs is too many ABs. I'm thinking if any flower is going to be able to take more ABs, it's going to be the daisy. But I guess time will tell. I am just dabbing my pen on my hand and on my clothes, making sure that my glue dot isn't too sticky, especially for ABs, because I don't want it to take the coating off. That one is for sure, because then I'd have to pick it off and try again. But I've got quite a few ABs to put on. Luckily, 5200 ABs, I have loads of them. I've got a full pouch of 5200s. And I'm just hoping that this is going to look nice as I'm thinking it may. I think I'm happy with that flower, that petal. So I'm going to continue. Helen also says she has also been given a shed load. Don't hear that phrase very often. I like it. A shed load of card making bits and bobs. So she's also got that to play with while she's watching the June Waffles. She said, P.S. the teal/turquoise is what I would absolutely love. Thank you. Sometimes when comments are made about a particular colour tray or a particular pen on a video, because I read through the comments in the order that they're written, sometimes it may be a few days before I get to a comment, and I can never remember which tray or pen I used on which day of which video. I should write myself like a list of them, but then I feel like I just could potentially end up with far too many lists. And then there'll always be a day that I forget to do it, and that'll be a day that I need to reference. But yeah, she was on about the teal turquoise tray. Yeah, that is a colour that we haven't yet been able to find. I.e. it was from the same supplier as the pink. We have managed to find pink at another supplier, or we think we have. It's arriving this week. and as soon as it's had a day of printing on the printer, I should know if it's good enough and if it's the same sort of quality and colour. But they didn't seem to have the same turquoise. And the colour pink looks as though it could have been made by the same manufacturer and is just rebranded differently to our original supplier. But they didn't have the turquoise the same as our original supplier. So, but we keep checking. If they start shipping at a reasonable cost to the UK again, because I'm not paying to have it shipped from a different warehouse, it doubles, sometimes even triples the price of the filament, and that is too big a cost. So as soon as they start shipping from the EU warehouse, we will grab some turquoise for sure. They actually have a lot of colours that we really like, so if and when they do sort out shipping from the European warehouse, it will be a big order we put in, because we know what it's like to miss them. I just wish they'd give me a time frame on it. I really would. 20101946 Iffy. She said, will you be having Luna sprayed? She says she hopes so, as it prevents serious illness in later life. 6 months is the perfect age, she said, for her to have that operation, as they get over it quickly at that age. As she said, apart from when she bred a litter, she's had all of her girls sprayed at 6 months. She said the hardest part is trying to stop them jumping around until the stitches are out after 10 days. We are planning on having her sprayed. We're not interested in breeding or anything like that. Definitely doesn't interest us. Exactly when, we will go by what the vet says is the best for the cockapoo breed. What's best for her. Stopping her jumping, I don't even know if we could do that. At the moment, she very much loves being on her two back legs, especially if anybody comes home, anybody's in the kitchen, anybody walks in the room, anybody's eating, anything. Even for her food, that she will do anything for, and any training that is done involving food as a reward for getting it right is picked up extremely quickly. She is very, very food orientated. She still can't help but jump and dive about. You can see her trying to fight her urge to jump, because she knows that the food stops coming when she jumps, and the food only starts coming / only is getting ready for her, is getting prepared when she is sat down and she's waiting and she's on all four paws. But she still actually really can't help herself. She always does a little jump and a spin when it involves her food. Nothing else gets the excited jump and spin the same way as her food does. So we will have to, it is a conversation that we will be having with our vet at some point. She's only 4.5 months old at the moment, so we're not quite there. But yeah, she will be getting sprayed at some point. We're not interested in breeding her, so that's definitely, we've bought a dog for a family pet, not for breeding. Dorothy Wells says she's working on her very first diamond painting. She's a little concerned about the quality of the drills. She says it's not a very expensive project. She said, are the drills in more expensive kits of a better quality? In other words, do you get what you pay for? There is the odd exception to the rule, like there can be an occasional time when something isn't, you know, mistakes can happen. Sometimes, you know, production quality can be a little bit off. But in general broad terms, yes, you do tend to get what you pay for. I often find in some of the cheaper kits, you know, say for example the round diamonds may not be seen quite as uniform as they are in the more premium kits. Yeah, they're not as uniformly round. I often find that there is a lot more rubbish bits or damaged drills or drills with extra bits hanging off. I often find that you get more of that in the cheaper kits, though you do tend to often get enough to be able to discard any of those that are completely rubbish. Quite often you still get enough extras that you can not put them on your painting and still have enough diamonds. But of course you have to do the fishing out the good one process. I find there's less of those in the premium kits. You know, they tend to be a more uniform size, shape and tend to have less wrong with them. So that is one of the elements of you do get what you pay for. In the cheaper kits, even though sometimes the diamonds aren't as nice, the painting will still turn out amazing. You often still have enough diamonds to be able to ignore the rubbish ones and still finish your painting. They're just not quite as nice as the premium kits. There is something enjoyable about doing the premium kits, and I think it is the little things like that. Sometimes, especially when you've been diamond painting for years, like I have and dealt with many different kits, quite often you can just overlook the drills that aren't as nice a quality. You know, you just automatically skip them or automatically pick the better ones out your tray where you like them more. Yet when you do a premium kit, you're doing that less. And I think that's what makes it feel nicer, even if you don't consciously realise that you're not having to skip over as many diamonds, I suppose. Though you can often find a bad diamond or two in them all, but considering they have thousands of diamonds in a kit, that part isn't really surprising. You are going to have the odd diamond that's a little bit funny. Kenzik says she got her first Diamond Art Club diamond painting today. She got the Fire Dragon. It's a 70 by 90 with just under 100,000 drills. She bought it as an early birthday gift for herself on the 24th. Happy birthday for the 24th. I like it when people buy themselves a diamond painting as a birthday gift. It's always a good one. Right, I put too many AB drills in my tray. I actually ended up filling up the spout at the end, trying to tip them out. So they're now away. And we've got to do the centre. I think it can hold its own. I think the daisies can hold that many ABs. I wouldn't normally put that many, and some of the other flowers, like the poppies, look amazing with just a tiny bit. But I think the daisies can cope with this. Sarah says hello from Oxford. I'm guessing that was Oxford, UK, Sarah. Hello. I have been to your fair city once. I think it was once. I don't think I ever went with school. I know I went with one of my daughters. We were travelling on the way back from somewhere else that hadn't been as much fun as we thought, and as much fun for my daughter as we thought. So we stopped off for the day and spent a day in Oxford. And it turned out to be a rather fun trip. Darcy said the Zoom is perfect for her. The Zoom distance, she said she can actually see the symbols. Oh, wonderful. I am glad it's working, because I do think if I did have to keep moving about, I know some days I get in a little bit closer than others, but if I did have to keep moving around the camera, I can imagine there will be a few times where you're not seeing anything while I'm doing it. Darcy also says, she says her Boston Terrier, Tater, would chew through a toy until he killed the noise it made. It sounds like she loves the noise that they make. And there's the odd one. There is a couple that she's actually had since she was a pup, since she was first home, and they're still toys that have survived, and they're soft toys at that. But there are a few others, and she seems to be getting even worse with it now, that, yeah, if it's got what I'd call a thin squeaker, she'll have that pop with her teeth within 5 minutes. Lady Dax, she says her friend's cockapoo is about a month and a half older than Luna, and she started losing her teeth a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, so far I think we've just lost one. She does use her teeth a lot. She loves to, I don't know whether it's, you know, the ache of the other teeth coming through, but she definitely loves to chew some really, you know, hearty bone toys that we've got. Are not actual bones, just toys shaped like it. We've got quite a few hard and tough ones that she absolutely loves to chew through with her teeth. So I do feel like her teeth get a very, very big workout. So I'm not surprised they're starting to come out already. And she was the firstborn in her litter. And she was the biggest in her litter. So I think that also has something to do with how early her first tooth has come out. Yeah, because she's a big girl. She said her other dog, her friend's other dog, goes barking mad if she hears her own doorbell going through the phone. So if Lady Dax's doorbell goes, her friend's dog goes crazy if she hears it through the phone. Yeah, she's actually done that today. I wasn't actually filming. When I went to go and get my brew, to make sure that I was able to complete another whip and chat, the doorbell actually went, which is late for Royal Mail. And yeah, she went mad. I was like, oh, it's a good job I'm not filming, because she definitely has a different bark for the doorbell, and it's loud. It's very, very loud. She said her Wi-Fi, Lady Dax also said she said her Wi-Fi is playing up today. She said it took so long to get to the end of this video. She's not sure if it's the modem or something wrong with her phone. She said, but if it had been any other channel, she'd have given up. But not mine. Well, thank you for sticking through it and getting to the end. Yeah, if ours starts playing up, my hubby always just says turn it off and on again. Okay, so I think, let me just peel it up so that we can see the angle a bit better. You can see it in a few different lights. I think the AB works in the daisy, even with more. I'm quite happy with that. I'm definitely not at the point where I want to take it all off. It's a bit more of a sparkly flower. But thank you all for joining me for another day of the June Waffle, and I'll see you all here tomorrow.